Here we have a SAT math problem. Okay, let's go to the question. Two data sets each containing 20 integers are summarized in the histogram shown. For the histogram, the first interval represents a frequency of integers greater than or equal to 20 but less than 30. The second interval represents a frequency of integers greater than or equal to 30 but less than 40, and so on. The mean of data set A is equal to lowercase a. The mean of data set capital B is equal to lowercase b. What is the smallest possible value of B over A? In this B over A, this lowercase b is the mean of data set capital B, and this lowercase a is the mean of data set capital A. So to get the value of this fraction B over A, we need the means of two data sets, data set capital A and data set capital B. And also we have to get the smallest possible value of this fraction. So here, to get the smallest possible value for this one, the numerator b should take the smallest possible value and the denominator a should take the largest possible value. That is, the mean of data set A has to be the largest and the mean of data set B has to be smallest. Using the given two histograms over here for data set A and data set B, we have to get the means for both the data sets. Okay, and also we have to consider the other information over here. For the histogram, the first interval represents a frequency of integers greater than or equal to 20 but less than 30. Okay, now let me consider the first interval over here in this first histogram. So like here, it says a frequency of integers greater than or equal to 20 but less than 30. That is, we can consider 20 or 21, 22, 23 up to the number which is less than 30. We should not consider 30 in this interval. So that is, we can consider all integers from 20 to 29. So here we have 8 integers in the first interval. That is, we have 8 over here. So the 8 integers in the first interval will take the values of 20, 21, 22 up to 29. That is less than this value 30. And also the same thing we can consider for the second interval as well, because the question says the second interval represents a frequency of integers greater than or equal to 30 but less than 40. So that is, we can consider this 30 but we cannot consider this 40. We have to consider less than 40. That is, we'll have integers 30, 31, 32 up to 39. So here in this interval we have 4 integers. The possible values for the 4 integers in this interval can be 30, 31, 32 up to 39. And also the same thing we have to consider for other intervals as well. So in this interval, so we have to take values from 40 to 49, that is less than 50. So we have 5 integers in this interval. The possible values for these 5 integers can be 40, 41, 42 up to 49. And here in this interval we have 3 integers. And the same thing we can consider for this histogram that we have for data set B. Okay, here we have 8 integers. The same thing, the 8 integers will take values from 30 to 39, not 40. So because greater than or equal to 30 but less than 40 according to the instruction. And in this interval we have 4 integers, and in this interval we have 5 integers, and in this interval we have 3 integers. Now let's find the mean for data set A. Already we know that there are 20 integers in data set A. So to get the mean for this data, we have to find the sum of all 20 integers and divide the result by 20. Okay, now let's get the sum of first 8 integers over here in this interval. And we know that the possible integer values in this interval is 20 to 29. So according to the instruction, equal to 20 but less than 30, and all of them are integers. So the possible values we have for these 8 integers are 20, 21, 22 up to 29. And already we have discussed that we have to get the largest possible mean for data set A. Since we have to get the largest possible mean for data set A, we have to consider the largest possible value in this interval, that is 29, which is less than 30. So now we have to assume the value of each of these 8 integers is 29. Now to get the sum of these 8 integers, we have to multiply 8 by the value of each integer, that is 29. So that is the largest possible value in this interval. So we have to do the same thing for other intervals. Okay, now let me consider the second interval over here. In this interval we have 4 integers, and in this interval the largest possible value is 39, which is less than 40. Now to get the sum of 4 integers in this interval, we have to multiply this 4 by the largest possible value in this interval, that is 39. So then the sum of these 4 integers is 4 times 39. And the same thing we have to do for this one, that is 5 times the largest possible value in this interval, that is 49. 5 times 49. And to get the sum of the last 3 integers, we have to multiply this 3 by the largest possible value in this interval, that is 59. So 3 times 59. Okay, here when I add them, I am getting the sum of 20 integers in data set A, and it has to be divided by 20 to get the mean of data set A. And according to the information, the mean of data set A is given by the lowercase a. So the lowercase a equals to, so this stuff. Okay, now let's calculate the value of this one. 8 times 29 is 232, and 4 times 39 is 156, and 5 times 49 is 245, and here it's 177 divided by 20. Okay, now when I add all these values, I am getting 810, and here in denominator 20. Okay, here I got the mean of data set capital A, that is lowercase a. So the value of the lowercase a is 810 by 20. So in the same way, we have to get the value of the lowercase b, that is the mean of data set capital B over here. Okay, now let's get the mean of data set B. For that, let's consider the first interval over here. In this interval, we have 8 integers. As we have discussed, we have to get the smallest possible mean for data set B. And also the possible values we have in this interval are 30, 31, 32, up to 39, not 40, because we have to take the values less than, greater than or equal to 30, less than 40. Okay, here, since we have to get the smallest possible mean for data set B, we have to consider the smallest possible value in this interval, that is 30. Now, to get the sum of the first 8 integers, we have to multiply this number 8 by the smallest possible value 30. Then we get 8 times 30. So this gives the sum of the first 8 integers. Now, to get the sum of next 4 integers, we have to multiply this 4 by the smallest possible value in this interval, that is 40. 4 times 40. Positive. Now to get the sum of next 5 integers, we have to multiply this 5 and the smallest possible value in this interval, that is 50. 5 times 50. Now to get the sum of the last integers, we have to multiply this 3 by the smallest possible value in this interval, that is 60. That is 3 times 60. Now I got the sum of all 20 integers in data set B. It has to be divided by 20 to get the mean, that is given by lowercase b. Then lowercase b equals to 8 times 30 equals to 240, and 4 times 40 is 160, and here 5 times 50 is 250, and 3 times 60 is 180 divided by 20. Okay, so lowercase b equals to, when I add all these values, I am getting 830, and in denominator we have 20. Okay, here I got the value of lowercase a and also lowercase b. So now our aim is to find the value of b over a. Let me find it. B over a equals to, the value of b is 830 divided by 20, and the value of a is 810 divided by 20. Now we can take this fraction as it is, and now we can change this division as multiplication. Then we have to get reciprocal for this one. That is 20 divided by 810. Okay, now this 20 will cancel out. Then we get 830 divided by 810. So we can cancel this 0. Then we get 83 over 81. Okay, so here we have taken the smallest possible value for B, and also we have taken the largest possible value for A. Then the value we get over here, 83 over 81 for B over A, will be the smallest possible value.